little bit, eh? Still not real warm, but...
Car says it's about 13.
Was that right?
Yeah.
Kind of feels a little warmer than that.
The sun's out.
Yeah, I think so. Just doing the lines and just feel what the car is doing. I think that's one of the kind of important things, is just to kind of feel where the edge of the traction is and how the weight is transferring, and what happens in the different gears and as it transfers to the back.
Wi-Fi hotspot unavailable. Trying to do a few different things in it. Flag means you can't pass anybody, right? Of course, double yellow and more than a single yellow. So I don't know. It could be just practice with the flagging, I think.
signal in a whole quarter. You notice that?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, he's using that throttle lower steer there. That's what they're working on. We couldn't see his hand, but he was actually signaling to go ahead. That's okay. Next time. Okay, right there. Okay, so we take the tight line. There we go. Little bump on the inside, but it's on the unweighted tires, so it doesn't really hardly affect the car, right? Okay, let's brake a little later for this and trail brake into it. Yes. Yeah, baby. You can feel the tires are starting to warm, eh? A little bit of sun on the pavement helps too. The pavement warms up and you get more grip. Okay, trail braking. There, right? Okay, let's get on the full throttle right here. Full throttle. Nice. Notice this corner comes up just that little bit quicker.
That's no better anyway.
Yeah. That's the one like Camaro catching it.
Appreciate it.
He was signaling there, but you could hardly tell. Yeah, he had black glove outside the window, kind of blended in with the black window and everything. And they didn't see it. give her there because there's nothing to hit, right? And these are all so even if you went over the curbs, it's just you got some grass, big deal.
I feel like I'm hitting that straight path.
Yeah, just getting that technique just right, and you get on the gas a little early, and next thing you know, you're just going a lot faster. I think it was pretty good too, eh?
He's not going super hard, at least he hasn't been.
Yeah. They're just a little slow in the corners. Okay, so a little later braking and less braking here. So you can carry that a little. And there's quite a bit more speed in that corner, yeah. Yeah, so you gotta brake just that little bit harder here now, right?
Well, I'm okay to the point that I get a little better now.
Yeah. Let's do that trail braking again here. Brake, 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 and on. You start to feel the braking, eh? The G. Just got a little bit of movement in the car. it's interesting how you can see that, because all of a sudden the car, and it shouldn't be doing that. For 4 days, I drove a brand new Type R in an autocross course with the all-wheel drive. This is just two-wheel drive. But 550 horse supercharged, 5-liter V8, and it could put the power down. That was amazing. Like last year, I was co-driving with Paul in his Nissan GTR, which is a freaking fast car too. But you know what? In an autocross course, that all-wheel drive Jag, I bet you I'd beat that GTR with that Jag.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, because you get the power right away. With the Nissan coming out of slow corners, like a short spurt, the turbo wouldn't come in until halfway across. With the Jaguar, I got it right now, and I thought, you know what? And they're similar. They're like 3 seconds, 0 to 60. Animals, you know. But that Jaguar, oh my God, I just thought, you know what, I could really kick ass if I had $120,000. I'm a poor engineer, I don't make that kind of money.
I don't know.
On the other hand, you know how they say, you can always sleep in your car, but you can't drive your house. Beautiful car, I really love the looks of those Jags, and I hadn't really looked at them that closely before. And then, it was Jaguars and Land Rover, and they were supposed to be, swap around, and they got that new coupe. They're trying to fight with the BMW coupes, M cars and stuff like that. That new Jag coupe, so they were highlighting that, and I got teamed up with this gal, and she didn't want to drive the Type F. So my cruel fate was to spend 4 days in a Type F bar.
That sounds pretty rough.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun, and it was kind of interesting. It was just a short little autocross course, and they, there's a number of people working there, but I got kind of lucky. I think people noticed what I was doing, and so, every once in a while they'd get some people, and they didn't want to do it in test drives, but they wanted somebody to give them a hot lap.
Right.
So I didn't want to do it in test drives, but they wanted somebody to give them a hot lap.
Right.
So I ended up doing nose duty, so I got lots of extra laps. So I got a pile of laps in 4 days in this Type R, and I've been thinking about it ever since. I can't get it out of my mind. I thought, what a great car, Just fun. And like you could, and it would rotate. And it would actually put up to 80% of the torque to the rear wheels. So it drove like a rear wheel drive. Like most all-wheel drive cars drive like a front wheel drive.
Yeah.
Like that's how they behave. You drive it like a Honda Civic. Yeah. And, so, most of them I'm not that crazy about. But the Jag, I thought, wow, it would rotate under throttle. it would kind of spin the back tires a little bit because it was putting so much torque to the back tires. The STIs, you got that little dial, you can send up to 55% to the rear, not 80%. So the Jaguar was definitely superior in that sense. But just the two-wheel drive ones, though, they're a little bit unruly because they'll break those back tires loose. A great drifting car, but so you had to be really careful with that right foot. But I guess this is supposed to be a debrief session or something. Well, I don't know. Any thoughts? On your part?
I started braking later.
Yeah.
I started driving faster.
Yeah.
Not necessarily any better. But
Yeah. So in other words, just it is coming together, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like what I've been noticing is you're more smooth now.
Yeah.
Like the smoothness is coming like consistently. Like it's kind of it's like a step function.
Yeah.
All of a sudden there's definitely a different level there, and very smooth and definitely faster. Yes, for sure. And like we were going into attacking those corners a little bit more, and kind of you could feel the G's. There was more G's happening there, and under braking, and then the entrance to the corners and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I've been braking later.
Yeah. No, it was good.
There's a few corners I still need to stay outside farther before I turn in.
Yeah.
That fast one before the trail braking corner.
Yeah. Turn 6. There's actually quite a bit more speed on that one, but you know what? You're not going to learn it all today. I think you've come a long ways already. You've done a good job. I was surprised how well you drove right in the beginning. Because most people I jump in who are new or relatively new, their steering is not that good. Right? They're kind of jerking the wheel around. That's a very common thing. And they're just not using that steering wheel properly. But right off the bat, I could see that you had some smoothness that, quite frankly, most people just don't have. They got to work on it. Yeah. And but you know what? I mean, everyone's got to work on it because you can refine it. I mean, it's just one thing to say, yeah, that's a good beginning point. But you know what? Yeah, there is more. So there's always more.
Always.
Just a little bit more. So like, how much horsepower is enough? Just a little bit more. And smoothness, how much is enough? Just a little bit more.
Well, yeah, I felt myself through that awkward part over there. I felt myself get jerky a couple times.
Yeah. Well, it comes and goes. Well, that's the thing about lapping or even racing. You can make a mistake somewhere along the line, but you know what? You can continue around the rest of it, and it isn't that big a deal because you may make a mistake on another part of the track, but it kind of blends in after a while.
Yeah.
And because the next guy, he's going to be doing the same thing because nobody does a perfect lap ever. And quite frankly, and you're just working on minimizing mistakes. Just make them smaller and smaller. And I know, like, the same thing like in autocross. I've done that for so many years. And I know lots of times people jump in with me, and I know they haven't realized, but I know I've made a mistake. But it's just a little tiny thing. And, but it's, just experience at the same time. I mean, I've been at this for over 3 decades, so I should know 1 or 2 things. Maybe 3, I don't know.
Maybe.
And it's kind of a funny thing. It's like the engineering is the same thing. I've done that because I worked in framing carpentry and stuff like that in Edmonton back years ago, and so I worked on building houses, and then I worked on designing them, and it was kind of funny. One day I kind of woke up and people are asking me questions, and I've always got some kind of answer. Right? If I don't have one, I'm not worried about it because I know I can find one. And I thought, wow, I've become an expert. How the hell did that happen? It's the weirdest thing.
You just accumulate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. And it kind of comes together. And it's the same thing with driving. You start working on different things, and, then all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, yeah, I made this mistake over there. But, if you go back 5 years, that was really a pretty tiny mistake or whatever, and it's just, it's a progression. That's all. It's a step in the path.
Yeah.
Step in the ladder. You want to go?
Yeah, sure. Okay, we're starting to roll.
All the fast and perfect drivers are going off first. It's like my dad one time. I was on a vacation with him and my mom. This is after I'd grown up, and actually I was. And anyway, My dad's a bit of a comedian, and he said, I said to my mom, my mom and me in the car, and he says, yeah, I made a mistake once, and it was one of these situations where I thought I was wrong, and then later on I found out I actually wasn't wrong. So that was my mom laughed. Yeah, right, Dad. Yeah, funny guy. I remember sometimes we'd have some candy or something. And he'd say, "Can I have some before I have to ask?" And he'd say, "Can I have some before I have to ask for it?" Of course, as kids, we hated that. There was one thing I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
And I forgot. My apologies. Was I was just noticing that you're actually kind of reaching for the steering a little bit. I was going to suggest trying a slightly closer position, either with just the back of the seat or the whole seat itself. It looks like your legs are bent, but because everyone's body proportion is a little different. Because usually with the arm position, I like to see it around 90 degrees, and you're a little bit extended. So when you're at the top of the wheel, your arm is almost straight. So if you just try just a little bit closer, you might find a little more leverage. It'll feel awkward or weird for a little while, but you might find you have a little better control. Like I know sometimes when I got a track day or a competition, or if I'm driving on black ice, I will actually sit a little bit closer than if I'm on a long trip and kind of trying to relax. And I find I have a little more control over the steering. How does that feel?
Getting used to it.
Yeah. And it's something you experiment with, and you kind of customize it to yourself. So it's a little bit closer than most people sit on the street. Is what I found typically. Nice. It's almost like it gives you a little more leverage, a little bit tighter in. You have a little more control over it. You notice your arm right now, it's almost straight. Off the racing line, yeah.
Where do you want me to go?
Yeah, just out of the way so the guys coming up, if there's anybody coming up, they can see the flag. And then you wait for instructions. They'll probably give you a yellow flag next. They'll proceed with caution kind of thing. See those trees that are kind of by themselves?
Yeah.
That's where the moose was,
Yeah.
and the calf. Actually, it looks like an animal way over there. Well, it could be a couple of cows. Or is that them there? I can't really quite tell.
glad it didn't rain.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking, you know, if it rains, it gets kind of slick, and you know, that's when you can have stuff happening.
Somebody's gonna spin out.
Yeah, somebody's gonna smack something in. And so I was kind of glad to see this.
Yeah. It's relatively cool.
Yeah.
So as good a day as you can get.
I had to laugh. I was looking on the internet. There's an article from Campbell River
Yeah.
up in the North Island, and they were doing tests with a drag car. They want to build a drag strip there, and so they were doing sound readings up to 2.5 kilometers away while he was doing a burnout. And but they didn't post the results. And I was kind of disappointed. I'm gonna have to look for them now, because that's one of the most common complaints about racetracks and autocross and everything is noise. Yeah. So we instituted a 93 decibel at 50 feet noise limit with our events. But it's good for the corner workers too, because you know their hearing isn't getting damaged. But since we did that, we just did that last year in the spring, first event. In Fort McLeod, every year we had complaints. Well, last year was the first year with no complaints, like zero. I thought, damn, I guess it must work. 93 is still actually fairly loud. Like,
Yeah,
you know, it's not quiet. Yeehaw, baby, give her. Yes, funny shows tires. Again, listen to that. They're just squealing for joy. Giving her pretty good. Driving it like a rental or something. It sure seems to be squealing with not too much effort, so it must be an all-season tire or something on it. They're giving her pretty good, eh?
Yeah, they are.
Definitely not holding back much. Leaning and everything. end, it looks like a huge car, eh? Even in black, that 911.
Yeah.
So wide. Brake in here. A little further. Get on it. Yeah. So we could have approached that a little bit faster. Nice little correction. You go to the left a little bit and set up a better line for yourself. Yeah, well done. Yeah, so brake a little later this time and trail brake in there. Yes. Lines it up a little better, doesn't it?
You can still brake later, go faster, but
Yeah, not necessarily about just going faster, but just
Right.
using that technique,
Yeah.
and it gives you a better position for the exit. Then
Yeah.
too. Gives you more choice. But flat's that front end, right? But flat's that front end, right? No, it's good. Same thing here. in our club, and he runs in the SSM class, and he's lowered the weight of the car to 2,900 and about 10, 15 pounds. It's 100 pounds heavier than my plates. Yeah, so it's like yeah, that's cool. So it's 100 pounds heavier than my S2000, but he's got naturally aspirated 850 horsepower. Let me tell you, that thing gets up a whole ass like you wouldn't believe. The scariest car I've driven. I've driven faster cars than that, but it's just, he's got 345 Hoosiers in the back, the widest you can get, and it spins them like they're on ice. Take you off the line, we use second gear because first gear is unusable. And his wife sometimes actually takes off in third gear. Third gear! It's tall! And it just, you're going to watch it. But he's also got a fancy traction control device. And you can dial in how many percent slip you get. Yeah. So different surfaces, more slippery, dials in different amount of slip. And a couple of years ago, at a school I was teaching with him, we were coming out of the corner, and it was starting to drift the back end out of the corner, and it was starting to drift the back end out of the corner, and the traction control was cutting in. It cuts the ignition, so it pops and crackles. And I said, Jay, it's just not quite. It's cutting in too much. So he reached across between the console here and turned the dial a little bit and came to the next corner. We did this nice drift out of it. That's perfect. Just dialed in a little more slip and I turned him a knob. Amazing. He's got a lot of money in that car, but. So there's interesting technology out there. And he's the one that just bought that red GT3 as well. So yeah, he's the CEO for the Badlands Motorsport Resort that they're hoping to start building this summer. That's going to be a neat track. I did some of the preliminary engineering on it, and it's going to have about 170 feet of elevation change. It's in a big coulee valley, so it's going to have more elevation change than any other track in North America. It's going to be a draw for freaking people from all over. Yeah. And it's 1 hour. It's almost exactly 100 kilometers outside of Calgary from the northeast corner. Yeah. Up around, kind of just south of Drumheller a little bit. They got a website, you go check it out. You'll see pictures of this red Corvette actually. See? Well, that's a fairly good couple of long sessions, eh?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Nice driving, by the way. Video too, so you can get that and review the stuff. Or I don't know if you can hear our voices or whatever, but yeah, you can. Yeah, something you can do, and I'd recommend actually is take some notes on it, and then go back sometime and review it, like some odd months later or a year later or whatever. And it's interesting to see because I know I had some notes I ran across that at school I'd taken like many years. I think it was like 10 years ago or something. And it was interesting to look at the notes. I thought, because it kind of gives you a different perspective, ways of looking at things. Everyone expresses things differently, and it's educational, very interesting. So I'd recommend doing that when you have a little bit of time, and it cements everything a little bit too. It kind of confirms it. And there's like studying for an exam. You've done that enough. Oh, X-Drive. So it's an all-wheel drive 330.
Oh.
No wonder we can get away with all seasons. No, I thought it was a good bunch of really good, clean driving. Good way to cap off the day.
Yeah.
Okay, that might have been the last session for us. So nice working with you over the weekend.
Pleasure.
Hope you got a lot out of it.
Appreciate your input.
Yeah. You're welcome. And well, like I said, I hope you got lots out of it. So
Yeah. No,
good.
Thanks,
That's
sir.
the important thing.